Count me out. I'm not done yet.
Sexton taking the 450 title.
Welcome back, everybody, to round 9 of RM Fantasy SXperts. Thank you for joining us. I am Chase.
I'm Charles.
We are your two hosts for this wonderful show today. Looks like we got people saying how much the fantasy cash they already have.
Pays to play.
Dad Bod Live, $17.20, $17. I like that. Remember, it does expire after a month, so make sure you go spend it on Rocky Mountain's website. Chuck, dude, how'd you do last week?
I did medium. So I got 45 points.
All right.
I got Jet Lawrence for the W.
I'm just chipping away.
How many did you get?
I think I got like just a couple points on you. But that's all right. Chipping away slowly. But anybody, thank you for joining us live right now. Indianapolis is what we're headed into, round 10. And with that being said, don't forget, we are giving away the 20 tickets for St. Louis in this show. Not right now live.
Comment.
After y'all know the deal. Yeah.
Yeah. Once the show is posted, comment. Let us know how many tickets you need.
But yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We got Monster Girls being taken out. We got Danger Boy Deegan.
Yep.
Not so dangerous right now. You don't look very dangerous when you're over screaming at the PC tent.
Not a good look.
Not a good look. It's not looking good for Kenny.
We got yellow gear running into Jet, off the bike.
We got all sorts of stuff. But before we get to though, let's show you why you want to be playing RM Fantasy SX. Remember, RMFantasysx.com, free to play. Here are the grand prizes that are up for grabs this year. 450 SXF, 250 SX, and an E5 or an E3, all race prepped, ready to roll. 4th place, a VIP trip to Fastway up in Idaho, and a lesson with a White Lionsmith, a pro. You get a year's supply of Dunlop MX-34 tires for 5th. 6th place, 2 STACYC 16 bikes. 7th, you got Motion Pro tool and accessory package. 8th place, Pro Honda generator, spending spree. 9th, Fly Racing gear package, spending spree. And, of course, 10th place, Oakley goggles, spending spree.
But
not bad.
Don't forget, we got weekly prizes.
Yes, we do. What are they, Chuck?
First place, Mobius knee braces. 2nd place, you've got the Fly Racing Formula helmet. 3rd place, you've got the Fox MX Ear Set hookup. 4th place, the Bridgestone tires. 5th place, O'Neill helmet. 6th place, the ASV brake and clutch lever. 7th place, some goodies from a Cherubies. 8th place, the Motul slacker. And 9th place, you're getting the 100% Omega hookup. 10th place, some goodies from Torque One, some controls, grips.
Yeah, it's not doing too bad, dude. A lot of good stuff. And remember, too, we have the fantasy cash. So
fantasy cash.
Whether you win a weekly prize or just fantasy cash, everybody's winning. I'm at 294, Charles. What are you at total right now?
I'm at 322.
Ooh, not too much to go here.
Nice try.
I got 9 races left to make this happen. I'm feeling good about it, though. I am feeling pretty good about it. Hey, we had our first perfect score.
Finally.
Was this our
longest
more than
halfway
drought?
through?
I can't remember. But
this was a very long drought.
It was a very long drought. Christian will probably tell us in the chat, but B. Murph, 127 points. Had Jay Coop in 5th, and Benny Bloss the wild card 2 weeks in a row. Wasn't 14th the week before.
Didn't we have
Walworth, man, I can't even keep track.
We've had 10th, 13th, and 14th all right in there.
Yeah, I mean, Benny, like, it was a pretty good, it was like 4-spot jump, though, between wild cards. So, I mean, Benny Bloss, he was 10th in Daytona, and then he just got 14th, so he went back 4 spots. So, yeah, they were onto something there. But
hey, I just got to say something, though.
What's
it was
up?
probably his wife making his picks.
It could have been. But, hey, you know what? More power to him. That's a lot of points and a lot of fantasy cash. All right. Well, all right, let's check it out here. Here it is, the Bridgestone race recap. Oh, we got Jordon Smith, by the way, calling in.
Yeah.
Second in points right now on the West Coast. Star Racing Yamaha rider. He's going to be calling in. So if you have questions, put those in the chat. We'll see if we can maybe get to a couple fan questions there. But here it is, race recap. Picks, yes. Sorry, lap chart first. Jet Lawrence, dude, Chuck, when Jet hole-shotted, I hate to say it, but in my mind, I just thought this race is over.
Yeah.
Look, I get that Jet has won every race that he's hole-shotted, and except for when he crashed, obviously, in Dallas. But we still haven't had a race winner who started worse than third.
That's true.
So that stat, that's still going strong.
Yeah, kind of.
And it just bumped, like.
It's got to kill everyone's spirit, number one. And number two, I like seeing it getting mixed up.
Yeah, well, it's crazy how fast things happen, right? Because going into this weekend or last weekend, the points were super tight. It was the closest, like the top 6 really had ever been. Yep. Tomac was 16 back, but he was, gaining momentum. And now here we are, one race later. And now, honestly, you've got 3 guys that could potentially win this championship, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Tomac is 26.
He's even a little far back. So, yeah, to me, it just seems like it's kind of between Webb and Jet.
I'm kind of like 20 points is my limit of what is manageable.
Yeah.
Or not manageable, but like once you get past 20 points in a championship and you've got 8-9 races left, that's going to be hard to do, because if you're Tomac, it's like, yeah, you're 20 whatever back, 26, but it's not that you just have to beat Jet. Sexton's ahead of you in points.
Yeah, he's
Cooper's
back.
ahead of you in points, and then you've got Jet Lawrence to worry about, which I don't think any of these guys have an answer yet as to how they're going to beat this kid.
Yep.
So, I don't know. So, it shook it up, which is unfortunate. I still think Tomac's going to win 1, maybe 2 of these races. But from a championship standpoint, I think Tomac's out of it at this point.
I think so, too. I will say this weekend, I think, could shake things up, because Jet didn't do the best at the last Triple Crown. We're going into a Triple Crown. So,
it's true.
If we're going to have a different winner, I think it's going to be now.
But here is one thing that I had brought up. We'll talk about it when we get to Jet here in just a little bit. But, yeah, a lot to talk about. Can Tomac win Indy? It's a Triple Crown. I mean, I'll say yes. Of course he could win. If it was a championship, I'd say no. But, yeah, let's get into 250 highlights and then talk about some of these.
Well, do we do KTM leaderboards?
Oh. Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that. Here we go. Tom Fial. Okay. Here's a question. So Daytona was a kind of a hybrid track, right? And then this weekend they tamed the track down. They got rid of the whoops. Does that take anything away from Vial going back to back?
I don't know,
if you have
because
a racetrack that's got just standard whoops.
So if it wasn't as soft and ruddy as it was, then I would say yeah. But I think it got pretty technical anyway.
Okay,
and
I agree. And something interesting, so Clinton Fowler, he was actually on a call because we were talking about Race Day Live this weekend, and he said that there's not really a lot of backing for that, because in other races where they've had whoops, he hasn't won any of those yet, but his lap times have been just as good as the leaders up front.
Yeah.
So you can't really just say, oh, the track is what gave him the win. But he won this one convincingly. Like, he walked away from McAdoo. And I don't know if McAdoo if his leg injuries maybe holding him back a little bit, but all right, what else we got there, Nick? Oh, do you put a blame pie on that? Seth Hammaker, any blame pie, racing incident? What do you say?
Nothing you can do. It's always a gamble.
Well, so if you look there, Daxton Bennett, the 59, kind of pushed Hammaker over just a little bit, and as Hammaker kind of went out of his way, Deegs was cutting across hard.
Yep.
But Haiden didn't have any good words for Seth right here. I mean, I'm sure he wasn't saying, hey, dude, it's nice to see you again.
Yeah, for sure.
And then after that, he goes over to the pre. Is this what he got the unsportsmanlike penalty for, or the fine?
Yep.
Was for going over to the rig? I mean, I don't know. We all know that Hayden's dad has a lot of control over what he's doing. Do you think the star team, I don't know. I just want to know what the mindset was of, like, did his team know, like, he was going over there, or was Hayden
I doubt
just
they knew.
decided to?
I'm sure he was just heated.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
No.
Deegan did not win over any fans this weekend. If anything, he lost some respect from people, I think. Just because, in my opinion, I look at this and I just think, dude, you just look like that to me just says, I'm an entitled teenager.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind
I
of
don't know how anybody else feels, but that's just kind of how I look at it.
If he would have kept his cool, not been rude or anything like that, I would have way more respect. I'd be like, man, that's such an unfortunate thing for him, which it is. But, I mean, I think I'd feel worse for him.
Okay. Well, this happened, and then in the main event, he takes an off-track excursion, clearly gained an advantage, so he got
shortcut.
He got docked 2 positions for that.
Overall, it was just nobody else knew about it.
Yeah. And right there, he could have stopped and got back on the track right there.
Yep.
He just blatantly, I don't know. It's just all around not a good night. Look, I will, and here's the thing that I struggle with too, like the whole, do we need to cut him some credit because he is a rookie? So, rookie in quotes, right? Because he raced outdoors, all that last year. Or do we need to be saying, like, you need to have figured this out by now? I don't know if he gets the rookie young kid card. Because he's a man. He's 18. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it sometimes. All right, what else we got? Oh, Anstie. Motorcycle is literally on fire.
Yep, points leader, catching on fire. Bummer for him, bummer night.
Yeah, he's out. Have you ever seen a bike have flames coming out of the exhaust when they're just idling like that?
Not when it's idling. He must have had some unburned fuel getting up in that packing or something.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on there.
That's very strange. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, it's weird.
Bummer for him, though.
Yeah, such a bummer. He kept his cool.
All right,
Hopefully
and
he'll
then
be back.
Yeah, right here. What's your take on this? Deegs just running. I think that was literally last lap, and that knocked him over the berm. I think Cody Schock, that's what broke his collarbone. So they were both. I think Cody Schock was yelling at the AMA official right there. I don't know if Deegan came over to plead his case, but dude, talk about just. I don't know. We were talking about it. Blake is not happy with it. If he doesn't bump into Cody right there or take him off the track, does he even make that corner at all?
I don't know. I mean, he's obviously outside of that rut, so it's going to be hard to lean it over and get all that drive. But
I don't know. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
He's coming in hot.
Well, we're going to get Jordon Smith in here in just a little bit, and we can ask him about those incidents. You remember last year when Jordan and Haiden got in that whole heat race dealio?
Yep.
Interesting. Well, maybe you have to ask him about that. But, yeah, let's get into it here. KTM leaderboards. Let's get him up there, Nick. We're going to get Jordan on here in just a few minutes. All right.
Sorry, we're going back to player stats here.
What's that?
Sorry, we're going to player stats here.
Okay. That's fine. Average score, 44. Is that the highest
I was right
of the season?
there. I think so. It seems like we've been around 25, 30 all season, so.
Isn't that crazy? Our first perfect score out of 1.1 million picks have been made.
That is insane.
Let's see. Less than 6% got Bloss with a wild card.
Yep.
Almost 30% had at least 2 picks right. 80% had 1. 41 people had the correct top 5 in their top 5. Obviously, only one of those had it all correct.
Yep.
And Justin Cooper was the only picked right in the top 5 by 4% of players, up from 0.67. Dude, Justin Cooper's making a name for himself.
I know. He's moving up.
And I think he just has a 1-year deal with Yamaha on Star. And nothing's been official, but I would imagine Craig's not going to race next year.
I would imagine that too.
I've heard that AC is going to retire.
Okay.
So there's a couple factory spots opening up, and
he seems like the biggest surprise of the season to me, how well he's riding. Yeah,
I didn't really know what to expect out of him. I don't know. He's been good. It's a bummer that Hunter got hurt in Daytona, because I feel like him and Cooper were kind of sprouting at the same time.
Yeah.
But Roxon was only picked on the podium by about 18% of players. Anderson, 13% of players had him in their top 5. And then AP, dude. We'll talk about AP here in just a little bit. Ooh.
Yep.
Jet, 66%. Tomac was the biggest letdown, obviously.
Yep.
You know,
That was weird. I was like, man, where is this guy?
I know. After the start, like I looked, I was like, where's Tomac? Where's Tomac? And he was like, he was buried off the start. And if you watch the replay, he just shut it off early. Just, I think, got a little tentative and shut it off and maybe tried to skirt around the inside, but wasn't really anything there. And there goes the championship. I'm kind of curious his mentality. Maybe, I don't know. What do you think? Is Tomac, does he give himself any sort of pass because he's coming back from that injury? Or do you think at this stage he's like, I'm pissed off. This is not like where I don't know.
My thoughts are like, I think he's just going to take the wins that come to him, and he's going to ride to his limit without pushing it too far where he's going to crash is kind of how I feel about him.
Even if it means not winning the title?
Even if it means not winning the title is how I feel about him right now. It seems like he's not willing to push that limit that he has to do.
I'm just saying if Jet wins this title, which is looking likely, right? I don't think anybody behind him can be like mad about it. Like you just have to be like, he was the best guy. Like, and we're not, look, we can't put a final on anything just yet. We still have a lot of racing to go.
Yep.
But Jet has been the best person each week for the most part, right? So if he did win the title, I don't think these guys are going to make any excuses other than these guys were Jet was just the best guy this year. That's kind of how I look at it. All right. Well, we're about to get Jordan all queued up here.
He is ready.
Oh, is he? Yep. All right. Well, everybody, you know this man. His name is Jordon. It's Jordan, not A-N. It is an O-N. Jordon Smith. I probably just got done playing a round of golf somewhere, but he is second place right now in the 250 West class. Jordan, how are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Just actually didn't get to play golf today, unfortunately, but it was a nice day. Got some stuff done, so maybe on the weekend or something.
Well, I sent you a picture. I woke up to like 2-3 inches of snow in my yard, so that was great.
Yeah, that's rough. That sucks.
That really sucks. Well, how you been, man? What have you been doing while you guys had this off time?
I've been playing a little golf and just working hard, man. We've been just trying to grind. You know, it's we're on a new bike this year. Obviously, the Yamaha's a new chassis and frame, so just used this off time to kind of get a little bit outdoor testing in the first couple of weeks, and then we've done some Supercross testing, just trying to get stuff a little more comfortable compared to how we were the first few. What we just take the info that we learned at the first 5 rounds and try to just come back a little bit better. So, yeah. Is
it more advantageous to race East Coast? Because have you raced both coasts? Yeah, you've raced both. Is it better to race East just because you get more consecutive races rather than having this big break? I got to imagine it's hard to race a few, then you have like a 2-week break, and then you have one more, and then you're back to just riding out. Like it's got to be weird. You'd rather just want to get them all done.
Yeah, it is a little bit weird, but like this year, in the years past, I've had, it seems like quite a few injuries headed into the season or always been kind of recovering from something. So this year I was ready to go from October pretty much. Like as soon as we finished like the SMX playoffs, I was like, all right, let's go race Supercross now, you know? So, I liked it this year. Just, I was ready. I didn't want to have to train for another 5-6 weeks before East Coast started. But it is a different dynamic with kind of getting to do that little bit of outdoor riding and that kind of stuff in the middle of the season. But I like that. I feel like if you race East Coast, you start training Supercross at the same time in the year as you do if you ride West Coast, but then you just stay on Supercross that whole time. So it can kind of get a little bit boring riding the same tracks, and now like I got a little bit of a breath of fresh air before or after Phoenix and got to ride some outdoors and got to break it up a little bit where those guys are, at that point just starting their season. So it's kind of weird because it's like feels like ours is like dwindling down and they're like just now starting. So yeah, it was it's different, but I've enjoyed it this year for sure.
Okay,
That's good.
Well, look, man. Do you have a question, Chuck?
Well, yeah. So 4 points back. What's it going to take for you to take that points lead?
Yeah, I mean, I had it for quite a few rounds there, and just had some stuff. Not really stuff happen, but just didn't have the best 2 races to kind of finish that first five race stretch there. With A2, the Triple Crown had quite a few mistakes there, and then at Phoenix, we made some bike changes before on that weekend off. We made some bike changes and headed into Phoenix with feeling really good, and honestly probably my best day of racing Supercross that I've had as far as my riding and stuff goes. Qualified P1, won the heat race, passed for the lead in the main event, was feeling good. I mean, feeling unstoppable, and then just kind of washed the front there on that slick, hard turn there, and got back up. And obviously, the crash with Levi with the lights and all that, and so it's just going to take that kind of riding that I had there in Phoenix. RJ and Levi are so solid right now. We're all 3. We're good in the whoops. We're all getting pretty good starts. We're all pretty solid. So it's just going to come down to who's that got that little bit of edge over the other 2, and kind of putting it all together. So
Levi's been solid.
Yeah, he's been really solid. I think I think that we've kind of all had our races, right, where like we've been faster than someone else. Like at A1, RJ kind of dominated. He came out. I beat him in the heat, but we were really close, and then he kind of dominated the main, and then I won round 2, and then Nate actually snuck in there and won in San Diego, and it just shows how good him and Joe are riding as well. So it's kind of like any of the 5 of us I feel like can win any weekend, and it's just going to be about taking advantage of any little mistakes that the other one makes from here on out.
Right on. Hey, here's a question, and this is kind of random, but Christian brought this up in the chat here. So all you star guys, you're a team, you all wear the same riding gear that same night. But then you have like the individual sponsored riders like Tomac, Sexton, Lawrence, and Anderson, and you'll have like the same 3 dudes on separate teams wearing the same gear. Do you feel like that's weird? Do you feel like it confuses people on TV?
I've never really thought about it maybe confusing people, but yeah, it is kind of weird sometimes, It's like you're on completely different teams. You're like, complete rivals sometimes. Maybe the guys don't even like each other, and then they're kind of forced to wear the same gear. So I think like on the 250 class, like we all wear the same gear if we're on the same team, so that's a little bit different. But yeah, in the 450, it can be it's kind of weird because you're like almost you want to have your own thing going on other than you don't want to be if you're Chase, I doubt he wants to be matching Jet and Eli up there, or vice versa.
Do you ever get gear sets that you're stoked on and some that you're just like, I got to wear this one tonight? You don't have to tell me which one, but do you ever get that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, I won't name specifics, but you wanted a set of gear that,
Hey, they all look good on the podium.
They all pay good when you win too, huh?
Yeah, they all look good on the podium. So yeah.
Love it.
Hey, go ahead.
So you being a vet of the 250 class, do you feel like that plays into how much risk you're willing to take, or do you just hang it out every time no matter what?
Yeah, I mean, I think that my riding has definitely changed over the years, and I definitely not that I don't like try as hard or anything. Like I still try as hard, but I definitely am a bit more risk adverse, I would say, and trying to not take the extra unnecessary risk. But if it comes down to it, I'll definitely do it. And it's not like going through my mind all the time, like, oh, I need to be careful or anything like that. So, but yeah, I've definitely learned over the years, what it takes to do it. I've had the speed, I've been right there, and things have happened. So, I think, after being hurt for basically kind of 3 years in a row there between 2019 and 2021. After that, I think I kind of calmed down quite a bit and tried to just, my main goal on Firepower was just to stay healthy and be at every race, So I think that year really kind of made me a more solid rider and making less mistakes.
Right on. Well, hey, speaking of the 450 class, I don't think anybody is going to disagree right now that Jet is the best guy. And it's crazy. Of all the races we've had, we're 9 races into this thing. Nobody has won a 450 main that started worse than third, and that goes to the Triple Crown as well. So I don't want to call it start cross, but you look at that. Have you in your career, because right now a lot of people are talking about Cooper Webb and saying, oh, he was happy with second, so does this mean he's accepting that Jet's just better? It's like, I would disagree with that 1,000%. Like Cooper Webb, nobody's going to just accept that, well, he's just better than me, so I'll happy with second. But have you ever had somebody that you've raced before that's kind of like what Jet is to these guys right now, where you're kind of thinking like, I don't know what it's going to take to beat this guy?
Yeah, I think that for me, this is honestly the first year that I feel that I can show up on any weekend and just win outright, just get a good start and just go win. Where, even in 2017, whenever I was kind of in the championship fight, red played to the end, most weekends I showed up and, I felt like Zach Osborne was probably better than me, and same as 2018. He was so solid in 2018. And, it was one of those things where, like, if nothing happened to him, he was probably going to beat me, So, there was always things that, I could try to do. If I got a good start, I could try to, ride him differently and kind of rough him up a little bit or whatever. But he was just so solid in those 2 years, especially 2018. And because I came into 2018 feeling more confident, felt faster, felt so much more solid having that year of podiums and being in a championship fight under my belt. And I felt so good going into 2018, and he was just that much better. So, it was kind of just him and I going 1 and 2 there for a long time in that series. So this is the first year though that I really, in my career, that I felt like I could just like show up and win on any weekend. So that's a pretty cool feeling too.
I'll bet. If you are Cooper Webb or Chase Sexton, mentally, what do you think? What would you do in their position? Do you think there's anything they can do outside of Jet just beating Jet and making a mistake? Do you think there's another level that they can find speed-wise?
Yeah, we've seen Jet make mistakes this year a little bit. Not many and nothing too crazy, but he is prone to some mistakes. I feel more so in Supercross than motocross a little bit. Just with it being a little bit tighter, you have the tough blocks. We see him get into tough blocks a couple times. So, I think it all starts, like you said, with a start. Like you have to get out in front of them and control the race, and then you have to be able to at least hold them off for a bit and try to get him a little bit flustered or something, and try to just match his pace and hold him off and see if you can push him into a mistake. It's hard because he's got so much raw speed, and it seems like a lot of times whenever he does make a pass on someone, he's instantly gaps them so that they can't retaliate, which is what he's got to do for sure, because he knows that those guys want to win and they want to beat him bad. So, but I definitely don't think that any of those guys, Chase, Cooper, Eli, any of those guys have accepted defeat. There's still a lot of racing to go. We saw it last year with Eli. Anything can happen, and those guys are going to fight to the end for sure. And I've trained with Cooper all year this year, and he's a dog. He goes for it. He just you can never count him out. So even at practice days, he'll be struggling or something, and we go to do that last moto of the day, and he's just right there. So he'll hang it out, and he'll make it interesting, I think.
My only worry is that, let's say Jet goes out and puts on another 6 points to Coop and Sexton this weekend. Yeah. He's getting dangerously close to what I would consider a management zone, where from that point forward, he doesn't have to beat Cooper or he doesn't have to beat Chase. He can kind of just settle for a second or a third because he's got that points cushion. So I feel like this weekend and then the next 2 weekends, if Coop's going to stay in this thing, he's got to close that deficit a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I think what are we at, round 9? Or
we've got
this
9
is round
left.
10?
We're over halfway.
Yeah, so yeah, I would agree for sure. It's getting down to it. If you keep, giving him 3 to 6 points a weekend, it's going to get out of control pretty quick. So they got to get on the horse and kind of get going here and not let that happen. So like I said, it all starts with a good start. They got to get out front and control the race.
Yeah, Tomac's a full race back at this point, and honestly, like unless Jet and Coop both, well, maybe Coop, but like unless Jet crashes out, like Tomac's not going to be able to win this title by just beating the guys that are ahead of him straight up every weekend. Like I don't see Cooper and Chase not being right there in that top 5, each round. And so at this point, like mathematically, Tomac, I'm not going to say he's out of it because we saw what happened last year, but just with how good those guys are riding at this stage, it's like you're kind of praying for a miracle if you're Tomac. Do you agree?
Yeah, for sure. I think that, I think too, I was going to say this before, is that, I think that getting into a management kind of mode this year is going to be really tough just because everyone's going so fast. I mean, you see, it seems like the same guys up front every weekend as far as Jet, Coop, those guys, they're right there, but it's such a close gap, like back to like the group of Anderson. Barsha's getting better. I think I've been riding with him a bit at NTF. They've been doing a lot of work on his bike, getting that better. You have that whole group, like Plessinger, all those guys. J Coop is riding unbelievable the last couple weekends and really kind of showing what we've seen all year in practice. And, it's hard to manage because those guys are maybe going 0.2 of a second a lap off, So it's hard to manage. You're pretty much better off just, I think, riding your race. And also, does trying to manage if they get to that point, does that get Jet into trouble where he may be back there with, guys that just want to beat him for that race, like that, they'll make a move or they'll push him off the track or, now he's kind of in that cluster of people and it's easier to make mistakes. Whenever you're out front, you have the open track. It's a lot easier just to hit your mark. So, I mean, it's like, I don't think that anyone's really in that top 5 is necessarily looking for a miracle yet, but it's getting close for sure for some of them.
Yeah. Well, this weekend we're going to a Triple Crown. Last time at the beginning of the season, they were mixing up the top positions a little more than they are now. But Cooper Webb, he won the overall, but he didn't win any of the individual races. Do you have any predictions going into this weekend, how things are going to shape up?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to shape up soft for sure. Indy is, as we all know, it's very soft, and it's it's like you guys said, it's hard to bet against Jet for sure. Coop, like I said, he's got that dog in him. He's going to be putting it out there. He's going to get good starts. He's going to be going good. I'm interested to see. I think that kind of a sleeper could be possibly Barsha this weekend. Like I say, I think that we kind of saw a little bit of improvement last week, and he's been looking a lot better at the practice track. And last year, he was right there and almost won over Kenny at Indy. Indy, like he likes these really rutted conditions. So I think that, it's just because everyone's so close. I think that these Triple Crowns just kind of open up that door for, a J Coop, a Barsha, one of those guys to kind of get a little bit more in the mix of possibly a podium, something like that. If they can get off to a good start in Moto 1, and then that sets them up for a good gate pick in Moto 2, and it just kind of puts the night in the right way. And with the whoops this year being a little bit smaller and a lot of them being jumpers, I would imagine they're going to be jumpers again this weekend with how soft Indy is and
how many laps are put on it.
how many laps are put on it. And J Coop is a beast whenever he can start jumping whoops. So I'm kind of looking for some sleepers maybe pop in there this weekend.
Yeah, I think J Coop will podium. This will be his first podium of the year if he's going to do it. I think this is one of that. I also think that Webb has got to be, if it were me looking at it, I would think that Cooper, this is like the perfect time for a Triple Crown, just because in a straight up 20-minute main, Jet's proven to be the fastest guy. And if you don't start ahead of Jet, it's going to be really tough to beat him. But in a Triple Crown, there's a little bit more leeway, right? But I think Coop knows, like, okay, like it's basically a 12-minute sprint. I've got 3 of these, and there's just more that can go wrong. So I just feel like maybe this is like, it's just so much different than a full 20-minute main. And I just feel like Cooper's got to be looking at this like this is a really good opportunity. If Jet has just one bad start or has something go wrong, I mean, the same could be the case for Cooper. But I think Webb's got to look at this thing and like, this is the perfect format to help me gain some points, right?
Yeah.
Because in a 20-minute main, even if Jet starts 10th, he's probably still going to be on the box.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that you can kind of look at Triple Crowns kind of like a mud race a little bit, you know? It's kind of levels the playing field a bit. And, you know, if you can kind of get your night off to a good start in main 1, then that kind of sets you up, you know, for a better night because you have a better gate pick, which is probably going to lead to a better start in main 2. So, I think you're pretty spot on there. And I think that Cooper knows that this weekend's pretty pivotal in the championship fight. If he doesn't go the right way in points this weekend, it's going to be a lot harder for sure.
Okay. Well, hey, man, last question we got to ask you. He's your teammate, the old danger boy, dude. The danger zones get a little frisky this weekend. I mean, you're probably stoked you don't have to race him on your coast this year anymore after, I mean, that whole incident last year, there was no hard feelings there, right? In that heat race?
Yeah, no, it's all good. I mean, maybe a little bit of hard feelings a little bit, but no, it's all good now. So
but
it got a little crazy last week for sure.
Do you look at like him going over to the PC rig and just kind of thinking like, oh boy, like as an older vet rider, do you look at that sometimes and think like he'll learn, like he's 18, he's in the heat of the moment, but a veteran rider's probably not going to make that same mistake or go do that?
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit, but I also don't see myself doing that at 18 years old. You know, I was never kind of that kind of fiery side to me. But I think that, you know, it can be good for the sport. I mean, he's not everyone likes it for sure. I'm not saying that I would be like that or want to be like that, but it kind of adds that kind of villain aspect to the sport. And
sure.
Maybe, you know, you kind of never know what's gonna happen. It keeps people watching for sure.
Right on. Well, Jordan, we know you're a busy man, and we want to say thank you big time for taking the time to do this. I am really hoping you wrap this title up, or you think that come Salt Lake that a round of golf on Thursday is going to do you good to help relax you. So we're we're hoping to see you here in Salt Lake. I'm going to be in Indy this weekend, Foxborough, and then I'll also be in Denver. So I will be doing Race Day Live in the Hype Man on the floor in Denver. So be able to see a race there. That'll be cool. But thank you for taking time to do this, and best of luck with everything you got going on, and stoked to see what you got in Seattle, right? It's your next race?
Yep, Seattle next weekend. So, excited to get back racing and
should be good.
Kind of get out there with the boys again. It's fun. I mean, trained with Levi all year last year and got to know him pretty well, and I obviously know RJ good. So it's been pretty fun kind of battling with those two guys, and we're so close in points, it's kind of anyone's ball game. So I'm ready to kind of take it down to the wire and get going.
Well, hey, Levi's calling you slow on your Instagram post, so I guess you better show him who's the man this weekend.
That's okay. We'll let him think that.
All right, brother. Hey, appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. You have a good one.
Yeah,
good
thanks.
luck.
You guys have a good one. Thank you.
We'll see ya.
See ya.
See you later.
What a good guy.
Such a good guy.
All right. Track trends. Look at the Indy track map real quick before we get into it. Throw it up there, Nick. He is such a good
Track's
dude.
looking tight.
Dude, I was so surprised that they're doing a Triple Crown at what is always like the softest, ruddiest track.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Of the whole series.
Yep.
Blew my mind.
Yep.
I wonder if the racers are not and since it's a Triple Crown, there's less time in between the gate drops. So there's not a whole lot of time for those guys to go out and do a ton of track maintenance. So, I mean, it's going to get beat up.
Yeah. So lots of 90-degree turns on this one too.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. You think that's going to shape up for good passing or single lines?
I don't know, man. I mean, last week's track's kind of hard because they got rid of the whoops and that S curve or whatever they had there, where guys were just going inside it was so just goat trail. It made it hard for pass. I don't know. We'll see. The track could be what makes it difficult versus the actual passing. I feel like with I mean, you remember that race with Barsha and Roxon? Like, it was ridiculous. Like, it was who didn't make the mistake that won, not the guy it wasn't the fastest guy. It was just who didn't make the mistake. So maybe that's what we're going to have this weekend in Indy. It's just who can be mistake-free 3 races in a row on what's going to probably be a pretty treacherous track.
Yeah, we got some sand mixed in there, so that always spices it up.
What's been the best sand section so far this year? I mean, in Arlington, was it Arlington? Yeah, it took out a lot of dudes, and it didn't seem that difficult. But guys would come in there. I was standing right next to it. They'd be making mistakes, crashing. I don't know.
Yep.
But
always spices it.
It is always spicy. All right, well, let's jump right into it. Here it is. This is our Fox Top Contenders. Chuck, you did the stats on the man. Let's talk about Jet Lawrence. I mean, where do you have him picked this week?
Well,
Sydney Sorensen? Sid's in the chat right now. Did you know that?
Is she?
Yeah.
Awesome. What's up, Sid? So I actually have him in first right now, which is crazy because the last Triple Crown he finished 6th.
Yeah, but he also just won 2 in a row. Should have won Arlington.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not too stressed about it.
I think he's got the mistakes figured out. He's riding real good on the East Coast. So previous Triple Crown averages, qualifying 5th, start in 10th, finish. Average finish is 4.67. He's got 4 hole shots. Super important for the Triple Crowns.
Yeah.
He is the only rider with more than 1. Roxon has 2 of them.
And, yeah, every time he's qualified first this season, he's finished first except for Arlington, where he qualified P1, should have won, but he crashed.
Yep.
Okay.
So Webb's my next guy. I'll talk about him real quick. And I actually have him in second. He could win it again. I don't know. But last overall finishes 241.74. He qualified 8th and went 225 for first overall at A2.
Yeah.
East Coast average start 5.75. East Coast average finish 2.75. So it tells me, he's able to advance.
Well, he's always talked about liking the East Coast track conditions and stuff better.
Yep.
So it's not surprising there. Look, Webb is currently, without a doubt, he's taken out Monster Girls.
Yeah.
Did we show that highlight?
Not on dates.
Can we show that highlight? He's taken out. Yeah, he's not taking her out on dates.
Different angles.
Look, I mean, that Monster Girl, somebody did an interview with her, and she said, the 450s are coming around the track faster, and it's like, I don't know what happened.
She must have some gnarly
brain fart.
Maybe it was just AirPods, the noise canceling. I don't know, because, how could you not hear a 450? Well,
I mean, she only had to get past that tough block, but she clearly was just late getting there, man.
Yeah.
And what's ironic is that literally that weekend, the Monster Girls filmed this Instagram video, and the first girl was like, "Of course." What does she say? We're Monster Girls. Of course we are basically honed in on the race. We know what's going on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
She said we have to look both ways before crossing the track. Or something like that, I swear.
Yeah, just the time and all that is really good. But anyway, as far as Cooper Webb goes, look, no one is going to argue that he's the second best guy right now, but it's the speed factor. He has been good in Triple Crowns. He won in Anaheim too, but he didn't win any of the mains. I don't know. And what?
Here's the deal.
What's up?
The speed factor is a factor, but the start factor is also a factor.
His average start in the Triple Crowns was 3, but his start's been good.
3.
Yeah, I know.
So starts are good. I mean, that's half the battle right there.
But Jet starts have just been crushing lately.
True.
I'm just,
But so that's why I have him in second.
You got to have Webb in second, right? No other rider. Okay. Sexton's getting sketch. I didn't even realize this happened. I'm not going to lie. When I saw Jet had a comfy lead towards the end of the race, I may have turned it off a little early because I was a little upset that Tomac was getting buried. Boom.
Oh, that's right. You had Tomac in first last week.
Yeah, because you stole all my picks. Yeah, I don't know. But, hey, he still rebounded and passed Jay Coop. Here's the thing, though. Sexton looks so good in his heat race.
Yeah.
It wasn't as stacked as the second heat. But it was just surprising. He was getting repassed by Jay Coop. Just didn't have really any flashes. I don't know, man.
He's off rhythm there.
He's trying different forks. Things are not going good for Sexton right now.
Nope.
I mean, it hasn't been bad, right? 4, 3, 6, 9, 2 his last 5 races. In Anaheim, he won that first one. He went 1, 11, 2 for 5th overall. Probably should have won the overall there if he doesn't have the problem in the second one.
Yep.
Which that was the mystery.
Yeah.
He just finished 11th, but nobody knew what happened.
Well, the whole deal was he started in 15th, and he worked up, but he didn't work up far enough. I believe he worked up to 11th.
So he botched one of the starts.
You mess up one start, you're done.
Yeah. His average finish on the East is 3.75, has 6 top 5 overalls this season. So, dude, he's solid. Mm-hmm. It's just been a quiet, he's 20 back. I don't know.
Average start is 4 on the East Coast rounds.
I just thought Sexton would have figured it out a little bit more by now. But
for sure.
we have not seen the Sexton that we had last year. Like, not even remotely close. He hasn't even qualified P1 yet. Has he qualified P1? I don't think he's qualified P1 yet. Maybe in one of the sessions, but not an overall. Yeah. And, look, I know he can say, like, oh, I'm not as worried about qualifying this year and everything, but it's still got to be something that he thinks about. All right, Eli Tomac. Mathematically, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. He's not going to win the title unless Jet. Well, look, he's 26 back of Jet, and he's 13 back of Webb.
Yep.
So
his results are all over the place. Could be a podium one weekend, could be 10th place the next.
Yeah, he's been very up and down. And, I mean, honestly, you think about it from here on out, like, to close that points gap, Jet, it's not going to happen, just beating Jet straight up. Like, you have to expect him to crash. Webb, he could. If Webb has a couple bad races, like a couple 5th or 6th, and Tomac wins those races, he's right back in there for second. But as far as first, yeah, I don't know.
I will say one thing. So, Triple Crown at A2, that last race, it seemed like there was no way Jet was going to catch him no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And but that was hard-packed dirt. This is going to be soft. So, it'll be a completely different story.
I mean, okay, so Dr. JB, I think, said in the chat earlier that Tomac, his bike doesn't do good in soft, ruddy conditions. Arlington, I mean, Detroit, it was bad, but obviously he fixed his setup because Arlington, I was on that track. It was incredibly soft and ruddy, and that was Tomac's arguably best race of the year outside of that third race in the Triple Crown. I mean, dude, Tomac could come out and win this weekend. When he ripped that whole shot in his heat race last week, I was just like, oh, Tomac's going to win. Like, his starts are dialed, you know? And then he botched it. He's raced Indy 8 times. He's won 2 of those, and his average finish there is 5.1. That's pretty good. His career average in Triple Crowns is very good. It's 2.2 with 8 overall wins out of 15 rounds. So I'm not saying Tomac can't win this thing.
Yeah.
Or this Triple Crown. But you're not going to pick him over Jet unless unless you're a big Tomac fan.
What if he's looking real good in qualifying? What do you do?
I don't think it matters. Tomac's, I don't know.
It's going to be what it is.
Qualifying, I don't have as much weight right now with these top guys because every time they qualify, they're tenths or it's 100th. The times are so close. I mean, you could argue, like, going into this, like, if you look at qualifying, if you're like, oh, Webb's 8th and it's a Triple Crown and the first gate drops matters, that could be a big factor if you're getting 8 gate pick on the first drop. So that might be something you want to consider.
Yeah.
I mean, AP will get to him, but he's, I think, only qualified better than 9th or 10th one time this year, right? So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, as far as Tomac goes, man, put him on your box. Put him for the win if you want to feel frisky. Maybe he's riding pissed off. Tomac is.
Could be.
I don't know. Okay.
We'll find out.
What's Kenny got?
Ken Roxon. Do we want to show that clean pass?
Dude, he rode
Look
good.
at this.
I mean, he's arguably better than Tomac.
Yeah, he was riding real good, and I actually have a lot of confidence in him for this weekend.
There's his number
He's looking
plate.
fiery again.
Think so?
I like it. Yes.
And he did win there.
So I'm kind of torn right now. I have him 4th in my picks right now, but I may move him up.
Okay.
Not sure yet. Last 5 overall finishes, 3, 5, 8, 1, 3. He went 3, 6, 10 for 7th overall at A2. Not very encouraging there, but let's see. He started 5, 12, 15 at A2, and he gained positions in all 3 races.
Yeah, but that ain't going to cut it, dude.
True.
He's been kind of a little hot and cold with starts, too. Like
He has been. Yeah, so East Coast average starts, 6.75. East Coast average finishes, 4.75. Pretty much telling you the same thing, but he also has 4 podiums on the year.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Tomac just statistically, I feel, is just a better pick than Roxon in a Triple Crown because he's been so good there.
Yeah.
And he got 2nd overall in the last one. So if you were asking me, I would not put Kenny ahead of Tomac just because of the statistics.
Yeah.
Nick wanted to show Griff stealing the show on the podium. Nick, get it up there.
Dude, I'll get it up there. I got to say, too, I feel
up?
like Ken Roxon, when he feels like he's going into a race where at that track he statistically does better, like year over year, gives him a lot of confidence.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
I think that's why he won his first race this year
In Glendale?
in Glendale.
Just
yeah.
had a good vibe going on?
But yeah, look at Griff still in the show. What a little cutie.
Stealing the show. Hey, at least they had the girl that got cleaned out by Webb back up there, standing right next to him.
Yep.
All right, fair enough. Is Jason Anderson even a top contender at this point? Is that a controversial question?
It's controversial. I mean, let's see.
What happened to this man? If anybody has an answer, I would love to know. Look, the only thing you need to know is his last 5 overall finishes, 6, 9, 10. He had that 2nd and a 5th. After Anaheim won, there's no way in a million years I would have thought we'd be going into round 10. He and Eli Tomac still don't have a win. He's 38. He's out of the championship.
Yeah.
His average start in the last 3 races, it's 16. What is going on with the Green 21?
I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
He did lead laps at A2 and won.
Yeah, he won that first race, dude.
So.
He crushed. But we haven't really seen any of that
Was
since.
it the first or second race? Race 2?
No, Sexton won the first one.
Uh-huh.
He won the second one.
Yep.
Tomac won the third, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. He got that 2nd in Glendale, but he didn't have the pace for Kenny that night. And then it's just been abysmal so far. Or ever since then, it's just, I don't know, not very good. He's been in the top 5 in 6 of 11 gate drops. So he's batting at 500,
yeah,
a little over 500.
Yeah.
So he's not a bad pick, but his starts the last 3 rounds are scaring me. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
No. Do you have him in your top 5?
Nope. Not for a Triple Crown.
All right. 2 riders in a row that we don't know what the heck's going on.
AP.
Dude, he's just kind of falling off the map.
I know. He had all these top 5s and podiums and whatnot.
At the start of the year, we said, like, if you don't put AP in your top 5, you're kind of silly.
Yeah.
And now here we are like, yeah, maybe don't put him in there.
Yep. So, yeah, last 5 races, 8, 18, 3, 10, 6. Only 1 top 5 in the last 5 races. He started the year with 4 in a row. So, yeah, kind of something's changing.
Is it mental? What changes? How do you go from, if you're AP, you've got your first race win, you're 4 in a row with your top 5s, and then all of a sudden, the last 4 out of 5 races, you've got 1 top 5, and you've got an 8th, a 10th, and an 18th.
Was it Daytona he went down?
Yeah. You got 18th.
Think that's in his head?
I don't know. Maybe he's banged up, but he got 10th before that. Just 2 rounds before that. I just wonder what changes for a rider. Is it a slump? Do you call it a slump? It's just odd to me that you go from AP having arguably the best year, right, and still having a great year, but something's happened.
Is it just the East Coast?
I don't know.
Maybe they're doing those.
There's not enough Cowboys on the East Coast? Is that what you're saying?
Well, they're doing those
Arlington
meetups
was
the night
East.
before, right? I mean, is he just going too hard the day before?
No. I mean, he's finished worse than where he started in 3 of the last 4 races. That's not AP-esque. At the start of the year, he was the guy where we were just like, holy crap, like AP's got all this raw speed and he's passing dudes, and now it's just complete opposite. So
I was thinking
head scratcher.
I don't know. I was thinking he was going to have another win by now.
Yeah, same. I don't know. Okay. Next up, Fly Racing Wildcard Watch. Remember, we got the privateer payout we're doing at the races.
Eighth place this weekend.
Yeah.
So
You've got Justin Cooper in
tough...
here, dude. Explain yourself. This man is on fire.
Well, initially, I was thinking maybe he could be a top 5 guy for the weekend. But I'm just thinking now 8th place might make more sense just based on stats.
But, dude, he just ran up front. He got 5th last week.
Yeah. He's trending up.
He's had other races. There was another race where he was running like up front, and was it San Diego?
It was early on.
There's been a couple races where he was up front and just threw it away.
Yep.
But you're telling me right now that Coop's going to go from getting his first top 5, Christian's out, Hunter's out, and you're going to bump him back to 8th?
Let me tell you what's going on here.
That's pretty dirty. I feel like you're doing J. Coop dirty right now, dude.
No offense to anybody, okay? I'm just trying to make my picks here as strategically as I can. So 8th in the championship, not that means anything. Last 5 overall finishes, 9, 11, 7, 6, 5.
Read it the other way.
5
is what he's
so
got. Yeah,
5th, 6, 7, 11, 9.
He's gotten, minus the 11th, he's gotten better every week. Just saying, man.
Yeah. He's trending down for sure.
We just talked him up so much with Jordan. Now you're just throwing shade at the guy, dude.
No, this is not shade, dude.
Okay.
He's trending up, but so last Triple Crown finishes of 10, 5, 6 for 8th overall.
He was right there.
Last Triple Crown, 8th, but like we said, he's trending up.
Okay.
Overall
finish per round, 8.5. Look.
Average start on the East Coast is 10th.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Average start is 10th.
Statistically, he looks good on paper, but my heart tells me you're doing J. Coop dirty right now. That's all right. The rider that I've got my eye on, I think is a really good pick, is Ferrandis. Just because his last 5 overalls, 7-6, 22-8, 22. In the Triple Crown, he qualified 10th and had an average start and finish of 10th for 9th overall. He's crashed in 2 of the last 3 rounds. I don't know. If you take his average finish without crashing is pretty good. It's 5.6, but he's crashing. Like, he's just had a lot of mishaps going on. So I don't know. Oh wait, so he got 22 last round. He didn't finish.
Yeah.
Christian's confusing me here.
We got our.
Anyway, So I got you, Nick. I think he's a good. He's never been a great starter. I think 8th is a good spot for Ferrandis this weekend. If he stays off the ground, I think 8th is a good spot.
Yeah, I think he's been in that range a lot of the season.
Okay. Barcia?
Yeah, Barsha.
His ride honestly kind of surprised me a little bit. He was better than I thought he was going to be. Like, I thought Tomac was going to get around him pretty quickly, and Tomac just stayed stuck behind him the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, he just got 9th.
Yeah.
His best result not his best result of the year, but before that was pretty garbage.
Yeah.
I don't know. But took 13th overall at the Triple Crown at round 4. Had finished of a 13, 16, 11.
Mm-hmm.
What's crazy, too, is like him and AP and Sexton are on the same frame now. It's crazy to me the difference that one bike can make from one rider to the next.
Yeah, because it seemed like he was crushing it on the old frame.
He liked the old one.
Other people didn't like it so much.
Yeah. So maybe just the way what he likes in a motorcycle is just complete opposite of what those guys like. It's just, I don't know. It's just interesting. Clearly, he's on a bike that's proven that can win and get podiums.
Yeah.
So I wonder I wonder if it's just the way he rides a motorcycle that makes that big of a difference. How he revs the bike out so bad and these things. I don't know.
Yep.
It's
Use the clutch as the throttle.
Have they given him Sexton an AP set? Well, Sexton no, because he's got that new fork. But like, have they given? I wonder if like they give Barsha like somebody else's settings from Red Bull or Husky, and he says this is terrible, and nothing that already they have works for him for some reason. It's
Yeah,
it's his worst season.
It is. Oh, well, yeah, because last year, so took second in Indy last season after qualifying 4th and starting 7th there.
But that was a different Justin Barsha.
Yeah, different Barsha, different bike.
Okay. He's only finished in the top 10 when qualifying 12th or better this season. And he's only been on the podium in one Triple Crown in his career. Round 12, that was last year. Mm-hmm. So Triple Crowns are not his thing.
Nope.
Man, that's tough. I don't know. Barsha is the kind of guy, though, I will say. Barsha does seem to be the kind of rider where once he gets something going, he gets pretty good.
Yeah.
Like when he starts pulling hole shots or he starts running up front, Barsha just kind of kicks it into another gear. Mm-hmm. And maybe last weekend is just what he needed to get a little bit of momentum moving forward.
Yeah.
He's got
the talent.
Well, they all got the talent.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of who's got the talent but not the results is Malcolm.
Yeah.
I thought I probably would have put money on it that he was going to win a race this year.
Yeah.
It has been his last 5 overall. It's not been that great. He got 10th last week, or excuse me, 7, 9, 8, 11. I don't know, man. Took 10th overall at A2 the Triple Crowns, went 11, 10, 9. Everything, I don't know. He got 8th in Indy in round 11 of 2022. He wasn't even there last year. Yeah. Statistically, he's a really good wildcard pick.
Well, yeah. His last top 5 overall finish at a Triple Crown was round 8 in 2022, qualified 7th.
So I don't know. Mookie's a really good option.
Yeah.
Okay. Benny Bloss. Did you put this one in here?
No, I didn't.
I don't know. Possibly, but I mean, eighth would be a phenomenal result for Benny. Honestly, I feel like Colt, he had a sneaky good ride last week.
13th?
Yeah, but it's his second race back. He's on the brand new motorcycle. It's his second time racing it. He did get good starts during the night, though.
Yeah.
So I feel like if Colt could find a little bit more speed, mix that in with his starts, and knowing that it's more of a sprint for 12 minutes versus a full 20, my sleeper pick for wild card would be Colt Nichols. But Benny, though, his overall finish is 16. His qualifying average is 17. His starts are not good. His finish is 16. So nothing about Benny Bloss. But I would say Colt Nichols is a better pick, my opinion, than Benny Bloss for the wild card. Just throwing that out there. We don't have a lot of stats on Colt yet, but that's how I feel.
I'll agree on that. So, yeah, my 3 favorite out of these, Justin Cooper, Dylan Ferrandis, and Justin Barsha. Those are my 3 favorite.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, that being said, Chuck, do you know what time it is?
The Cherubies, lock them in.
Okay, I will go first this weekend. So this is a true story. Nick asked me for my picks today.
Okay.
And I gave him my picks, not knowing what yours were. We had the exact same top 5. Right, Nick? Was there one pick
different?
different?
Those are facts you can quote.
It's true. No, they had the exact same top 5.
Literally the same top 5.
That's crazy.
Okay, so it's your turn to have to change your picks to mix it up. So we can't tie on points. No, I'm just joking. No, but for real, change your picks. Okay, here's who I have. I have Jet, Webb, Tomac, Sexton, Justin Cooper, Malcolm Stewart.
I like them.
I mean, Cooper's got the momentum. Sexton's just kind of been in 4th place in that range. And Malcolm Stewart is statistically a great pick.
Yeah, could be up there. Yeah,
Take that.
Only other thing. Yeah, when we were talking earlier, I got my picks. I had them mixed up. I said I had Roczen in 4th. I actually have him in 5th. And I'm thinking I'm just basing this off stats. But yeah, Lawrence, Webb, Tomac, Sexton, Roczen, and then Justin Cooper for the wild card.
Throwing shade again at Justin Cooper.
I don't even mean to. There's just so many good picks for everything.
I don't know, dude. But I don't know. Donnie Berger I saw put Tomac as wild card. That's doing Tomac dirty. That's doing Tomac pretty.
He's not wrong.
He's not right. I don't know.
Well, it could go either way because it's been so inconsistent.
But he's been so good at Triple Crowns. He's got to be mad, man. Does Tomac retire after this year?
I don't think
if he
so.
doesn't win the title. Does he want to deal with Jet again?
Well, the only thing I'm basing this off of, there's the one time when he was like, tired of people asking when I'm going to retire. I'm going to retire when I'm good and ready.
Oh,
or something along those lines. That was a couple weeks ago.
You know what I forgot to ask Smith?
What's that?
I was going to ask him. So Tomac's on a Supercross only deal.
Uh-huh.
I was going to ask him if he felt that Tomac, you're better off racing outdoors, even if you don't necessarily want to. If you're like, say you like Tomac, he's like, you know what, I just Supercross only, 17 rounds, I'm good. I don't want to do the grind of all summer long. But is it more beneficial to race outdoors to maintain your base of fitness and just stay fresher on the bike for the following season? I don't know.
I think it is 100%.
Okay.
But yeah.
But if you're Tomac, though, like this whole, I feel like, maybe I'm wrong, that the Super Motocross playoffs might make certain guys maybe stick around a little bit longer. Because look, let's say Eli Tomac is like, he sticks around next year and he says, or any of these older guys, and they're like, you know what? I'm not going to stress about winning the title, but, you know, if I can go race all the rounds and put myself to go to the SMX playoffs and get 5th overall, win an extra couple $100,000 or whatever that payout is, like, that's not a bad strategy.
Not a bad deal.
All right. Well, it's the meme event.
It is the meme event. Hey, real quick, though.
What are you looking at?
Dad bod life. Respect. He says word is Tomac is retiring. I don't know where he's hearing that from. But
until it comes out of the source's mouth,
Yep.
I'm not taking anything.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Meme event. Let's get it. Who's submitting them this week?
You
Tim
gotta say your
G.
thing.
I'm
Tim
sorry,
G, if
Tim
you're
G.
watching, I put this in here just for you. I don't know what your meme was last week, but I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, dog.
Well, it's hard, man. We get so many of them.
When your meme is fire and it doesn't get airtime, that's probably because we can't play it on the air.
Yes. Sometimes you guys have good memes, but I'm sorry. We just can't put them on the show.
Yep.
All right. Fair enough, though. That is a good meme. Is that Snoop Dogg?
Is that?
It's young Snoop? Okay. Fair enough. What do we got next? That's pretty good.
Yep.
That's going to be, if Jet loses his title, it's going to be now to see who cost me my Supercross championship. It's just going to be himself.
Yep.
You see what I did there?
What the hell is going on?
Okay, what do we got next?
It's the danger zone. It's not off track.
Damn, dog. That's not good.
She's like, what are you talking about? AMA.
That whole night was not good.
No.
I know. That literally is Deegan trying to plead his case about anything. It's like, AMA, I don't know. It's a good meme. All right, what else we got?
Board girl and web.
We've got a problem here.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think that's ever happened. I am surprised, though, that in all the Supercross races we've ever watched, those monster girls have to run across the track after they drop the board sideways. They're running across the track, and a lot of times it's the dirt right there. It could be soft and kind of muddy or whatever. To their credit, I've never seen one just trip and fall flat on their face.
Do you think they're like in the gym training for that, like on the treadmill, like?
I don't know. Here's a question though. Serious question. If Webb had like tipped over, hitting that monster girl, they red flag it, right?
I don't know.
I mean, if it was, what's up? If it was a privateer in the back, no one's red flagging the race for 18th place. but Tomac was in like 16th. Like what if Tomac had hit the girl because she was out front, but he was in 16th? Did they red flag it? Did they red flag it for Coop?
I don't know, man.
Serious
That's a
question.
tough call.
Serious question. What is the AMA's never put in this situation where like they know what's going to happen if somebody ever ran into a monster girl and fell over? It's not like they know, and you've got to make a decision.
Interference. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe next time some dude's in 10th, if he sees a monster girl, he'd be like, hey, I got a way to restart this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Red flag.
Fair enough. All right. Car girl.
Yeah. In the cast.
She got lucky, man. It's a good thing she was holding that board. That is a good one, though.
Arrest made.
Did you see Cooper's post after the race, though? Dodged everything but the police because he got pulled over driving home from the stadium.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
That's crazy.
He had a good attitude about it.
Yeah.
And he was even asked if he felt like it cost him anything. He's like, nah. Like it didn't make or break my night.
Yeah, Deegan. My father will hear about this.
I mean, that's pretty good, dude. I haven't seen that one yet.
That is good.
I'll tell you what, if Deegan's watching this, it's not like Deegan's watching her show, but
sorry,
he's
bro.
he's never calling in.
No. Whoa, that is brutal. Rock and Roll McDonald. Have you seen that? The rock and roll McDonald's reel going around?
Yeah, look, I don't want to.
That was
I'm
straight
not
up
throwing
McDonald's
hate
gear.
on any company, but this is one of those gear sets where every time I see someone wearing, I'm just like, I don't know.
All I could think about was ketchup and French fries the whole time.
It's a good meme.
This is not good for my diet. Maybe
Okay,
they
what
got to
else we
deal with
got?
them.
Fell scripting Supercross.
Threw a girl in the track.
Yeah. I don't know. Tell you what, though. This.
What? Dr. JB.
Yeah.
Is
I
that
think-
Vince Freeze?
After further, yeah.
Oh
He's just
my
always
gosh.
there.
Was it Dr.
He's just
JB
there.
that made that one, or was it? I thought it was. Maybe he reposted it. I don't know, but that is the most creative meme I've ever seen. The magnifying glass with their face, like that is the best. Okay.
I love it.
I'm gonna go out and just say it. That's probably the best one I've seen, dude. Like, it's.
Dude, we need prizes for these.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
That was pretty good, man.
Choose one.
Yeah.
Monster Energy
Shout
girl
out
too.
to Dirty Creek Water.
Yeah.
No, we did
awesome.
not have that in the drop down. Jeez-o.
What do you think? Should we do a little poll action on here and try to
What, if that should be one of the picks?
pick the best one? No, try and let the viewers pick the best meme.
Let them pick it.
You know what would have been a good bet? You know how people go to like betting places and make these outrageous bets on just, I didn't know this. You can bet on anything.
Anything.
Like you can go into a place that takes bets and you can bet that, like I heard this outrageous story and I'm not going to get this fully correct, but it was somewhere along the lines that this guy went in and bet. He said, hey, in the third quarter, this player is going to shoot a free throw, and right before he shoots it, he's going to wipe his face.
No way.
I swear on my life, dude. It was like he's going to do this or something weird right before he shoots a free throw. And the dude won a bunch of money for it because it played out the way exactly how he said it was going to.
Yeah, the buy-in's probably low, but the payout is probably good.
I don't know, but I didn't realize that you could bet on almost anything.
That's wild.
So, like, you could, well,
Can
you
you
can't
bet on how many people are going to bet on something?
I don't know. You can bet on pretty much anything.
That's crazy.
Anyway, best meme this week? Oh, dude, Monster Girl is really freeze. Without a doubt. That was my favorite.
Those are facts.
Oh, geez, oh. But, Jay Sand, dude, loves the fast foot pegs. Said he got him.
Awesome.
That freeze one's really good. Oh, gosh, dude. Deegs, the Draco, McElroy, or McElfoy thing would be my second one. My father will hear about this.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Well, look, everybody, all the memes that you guys are seeing right now, people are submitting in the Discord, and the link to that is down below. So please go to the Discord link, join if you haven't already. It's free for the Discord. You know what else is free, Charles?
It's free to play, free to win.
Yeah.
Make your picks. Don't forget. Don't do rollovers. so you can actually win the prizes, the 10 weekly prizes, and then RM cash.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter when you sign up. You can always win a weekly prize, and it doesn't matter, too. You'll always get fantasy cash when you sign up and play fantasy, so make sure you go and do that. But a lot of going on this weekend. Honestly, I feel like I'm just going to say for Cooper Webb, I said this for Tomac at Daytona, and he didn't win Daytona. He is now, I would say, out of the championship. I said it was do or die. I'm going to go out and say right now that my big prediction is that it's do or die for Cooper Webb this week in Indy. If he does not chop the points deficit between him and Jet, I'm going to say Jet's going to win this title walking away.
I'm with that 100%. I can't argue against that.
Dangerously close to that points cushion that puts him a little bit like less stress to where if Webb's out front and Jet's in third, Jet's not freaking out about it. Still needs a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying if Jet adds 5, 6, 7 points this weekend to his points lead, I think he walks away pretty easily with it.
Yep.
Which is, hey, kid's been good, man.
He has been.
You can hate all you want, but he is the best rider for sure.
Well, and it's interesting to see the narrative kind of change. To me, it feels like it changed. Like everybody kind of has warm feelings towards him now, where especially at the start of the season, it seemed like there's a little drama with him, the whole helmet thing, him and Anderson. And
it's, look, I mean, I get it. Like, he's coming in, he's beating your heroes, right? He's beating Tomac, he's beating Webb, he's beating Sexton. Like, he's, and so I understand why people have resentment towards that because he's, but I think a lot of people now at this point are just accepting. It's like, dude, he's just that good. Respect it. Jet's, he's fairly new, so he's making some mistakes, but
that good, and the way he carries himself and interacts with everybody else, the things he says.
Yeah, he said
very
the right
respectful
things.
now.
He was super respectful to Webb. Yeah, he's saying the right things. He's doing it all right. I'm just saying, at first it's like this new person comes in and kicks your hero's butt, but now it's like you've just kind of accepted, like, this is it. Call it the changing of the guard, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. But I don't know. I don't think they're like, I don't think these riders like Webb and Tomac and them are accepting that Jet is just better. But he is. And they're going to have to figure something out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So whatever that might be. Well, everybody, look, thank you so much for joining us. Charles, sign us out, dude.
Okay.
Do the people proud.
Again, get your picks in, win those prizes, and we will catch you next week, 4 p.m.